So when I press the camera button, if I press it one time, it's going to show one of the camera views, but I can keep pressing it to cycle through the different views that we have here on the screen. So right now the vehicle's in park. I don't have it in reverse drive or anything like that. So just want to show you where we're at, because this will be more important when I show you some other views. So this is the 3D view, and we can actually kind of see the vehicle, which we could change the color if we want, and we can see what's around, directly around the vehicle. And you can see those lines, you know, represent the width, including the side mirrors. And you can see around very well. You know, it does a really good job of, you know, representing everything around the vehicle. Very clear and high clarity and just natural looking. It just looks really good. Today's a really cloudy day, so it's able to still pick up, even with this lower light, how all the details and everything around the vehicle. And you can have these quick views here, like so, if you get disoriented, I guess. But you could just grab it and move it around. So that's the 3D view. It's helpful in certain scenarios. So let's go here to this is the probably the normal view that you would see in most vehicles, where it has a top-down view, and then it shows the front view. Since we're in drive, it's showing the front view. If we put it in reverse, it'll show you the reverse view. So I'll show you that right now. So you can see the active guidelines. As I turn the steering wheel, it shows where the vehicle is going to go, and then you can see the active guidelines there, with also a center line as well. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell, that it has the tire track here and here separate from the width of the vehicle. So it shows you the tire track, shows you the center, and all that stuff. Now that red line is showing you basically, you know, you don't want to get any closer to that, because that's like super close. It looks far, but it's actually very close, because this is kind of like a wide angle view. Alright, so let's put it in drive. When we put it in drive, it'll show the front view. Now there's this second view right here where it shows the front view with the active guidelines, but also shows the side of the vehicle. So it's actually removing the vehicle and only showing you the side. So that's the front tire there. So as I turn the steering wheel, you can see the wheels turn, so we can get a precise view right where the wheels are. So if we're getting close to something, we can avoid hitting it, but if we need to get really close, we can keep an eye on it, that kind of thing. This next view right here is very interesting, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you where I'm at, because this is the front of the vehicle, but it's actually showing you both ways. So it's actually, it's so well done as far as not looking too distorted, that it's kind of confusing sometimes when you first see it. So I'm pulled up to that curb, and it makes that curb, it just shows both ways, like to right and left. So if you're pulling out of a parking space, or if there's a wall or some kind of barrier and you can't see, this gives you that view right in front of the vehicle. Like right where that camera is the very tip of the vehicle in front. And so you can see around corners and stuff. Excellent idea, and it works really well. Some vehicles have this, you know, especially in backup cameras, but it's a little bit distorted, looks a little bit weird. This one actually looks so well done. It's a little distorted there in the center, but man, is it just well done here in the front. And then there's this next view. It's called invisible hood view. I think it's something like that. So right now you can see under the vehicle is a shadow. But you can see the tires, and you can see the angle of the tires as I turn. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to put it in reverse. So we're going to have a different view here for a second. But so I can get away from this curve. This is required to do this. Alright, so let's go back to this invisible hood view right here. So it was able to get enough information to estimate what's underneath the vehicle. So as I move, it's taking a view, kind of recording a view in front of the vehicle and then passing it under as I drive to kind of just give me, you can see it's a little bit disconnected, but it gives you a general idea of what's underneath the vehicle now. And as you're going slow, you see that line. You can see it's generally straight. It's a little bit distorted, but you can get an idea of where the angle of the tire and what's certainly on the outside, but underneath the vehicle too a little bit, just to give you some context. And it's kind of representing an invisible hood, like you're looking through the vehicle. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So now check this out. If we hit this button right here, this expanding button, it expands the view across the complete screen here. Basically, there's a little divider here. It's actually two screens, but across both of these screens is the view. So as we're driving, we can see a really big expanded view of what we just looked at. Thought that was pretty cool. Now, it's not like you're driving fast. You know, this is for like off-road, you know, like a tight parking spot, something like that. If you go too fast, then this view will go away. You can't really like rely on this for driving around fast or anything. It's not like you're on the highway looking at this or anything. But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. It does a decent job of just kind of filling in what's underneath the vehicle. But yeah, get that view all the way across. You can do the same thing with this view here, but it's basically just showing you what's in front of the vehicle. So it's not as, it's still kind of, it's very useful, but it's kind of not quite as fun as this one right here. Let's see, let's go to this. Yeah, that's the one we saw. All right, let's go back here. So yeah, there's that front view. And okay, so yeah, so this one all the way across from one side to the other, we can get a good view. So this is that really wide shot. So it makes everything, make it to where you can see both ways. So I'm going to pull back up to this curb so you can see what I'm talking about. It's that original view that as we pull up, we can see both ways in front of the vehicle. You're able to expand that as well. And here's another cool feature. So like right here is, look, you can drop a pin basically on the GPS. And what it'll do is this camera view will pop up. Let's say you have a favorite parking spot and you park there regularly and you want a particular view when you get to that parking spot, so you can nail the parking spot and make sure you're in there, you know, precisely or whatever. Well, you can choose the view that you want, and then you can drop this pin, and then as you get close to that parking spot, it'll go up and pull up that parking view, whatever view that you want, and then it'll give you the ability to, you know, pull in there properly and everything. I thought it was pretty neat. It's this one right here. You have that ability, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's the only one that gives you that view. So yeah, you can drop a pin basically for that particular view. So this really wide view, you can drop a pin for that, and then you can make this wider if you want. Okay, so I'm pulling back into that spot where I was. So as we get close to it, it should pop up that view. Since we weren't there and now we're getting close to it, let's see what happens. There it goes. It sensed that we're getting close to that spot that we were at, and it pops out up that camera view that I had dropped the pin on. Nice. So it has an integrated dash cam, and it does the front, in front of the vehicle, behind the vehicle. There's also inside camera as well. So you can record audio and video basically in all these different locations. It comes integrated with the system, the actual footage. I got it on a high bit rate. You can change the bit rate to, you know, high or low or medium. So it has different levels there. Plus you can choose how many minutes you would like to record. So like if you want to record just 1 minute or whatever, also record on impact and all that stuff. So yeah, it seems like a pretty advanced, integrated, like an actual integrated dash cam. This vehicle has a mirror, like a regular mirror, and it also has a camera. And so the camera system is designed to where if there's, you know, the visibility behind this vehicle is pretty decent, but if you have a lot of passengers and all that stuff, and there's all these headrests in the way, and you have cargo piled up, this camera is a lifesaver because you can see directly behind the vehicle. So really done. So it has this full menu system here. So you can choose brightness, you can choose to go up and down. So let's go back up to brightness. I can show you the different brightness levels here. So you can go up pretty good. And let's go down here. You can go into the negative numbers as well. the center range is pretty good, is pretty decent. Let's go down here to up and down. Now we can, I like to pull it down because it's already a tall vehicle. So you can see, you could look at the trees if you want for whatever reason. But bringing it down lower is more convenient. I bring it all the way down because it is a high vehicle. I want to see, like, you know, directly behind the vehicle. So, you know, having that ability to do that is really good. You also have a rotation. So let's say, so if it just doesn't look level to you, it just doesn't look right, you can, you know, just give a little bit of adjustment there to make it look better for your eyes. And let's go. Indication, let's go ahead and, so the indication, if you turn it on, it's going to have alerts here on the screen. So you can turn that on or off. It could be blind spot alerts, it could be, you know, a variety of different things. And so let's go here, make sure that that is on. And then let's go down here to the dimming mirror, which is this part, auto dimming mirror. You can change that on or off in this little menu. You can change the language, and then we can view the license here. That's kind of interesting. So it has like a full license for the software in the smart mirror. A lot of information there. But yeah, it was pretty neat. But it's very handy. Having a mirror that's just a camera is good, but this one is a smart mirror, so it's got a lot more features than a normal camera system.